are
There we
recording.
go. I tend to record to computer instead of cloud. All right. We are on replit. Now, I'm going to go through the basic setup for processing.js one more time here. The first thing, which we probably did last time, was we have a whole script tag we need to copy. I am pasting it in chat. We just, right above our script.js, on line 12, we'll click enter a couple times and then paste in this script tag and make sure to paste it above the script tag that says src equals script.js, this one right here, and not this one down here, because REPL has one down here too, and it's very confusing, but paste it on above this one, so right here. And then a couple more things we're going to do. This is where we're going to do something different from last time. We're going to type in the script tag before the src and after the script keyword, where we normally put like a class or an ID, we'll type 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 equals quotation marks application spelled APPLICATION 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 slash processing. Did I spell that right? Okay. Yep. PROCESSING. 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 All right, and the final thing is after the script tag, we're going to write lesson sign canvas, CANVAS, greater than sign, and we have our canvas. All right, and I'll let everyone do that. And when you are done, put a done in chat. And if you can, go ahead and just copy like this part here of your code and then paste it in chat so I can see it. Make sure you did it right. Yeah, it seems like when I run REPL and also share my screen, the camera tends to get a little laggy.
My internet is just like McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
I am McDonald's. And I'm sus.
POV, you're a built dirty mind.
All right, and when you are done with setting this part up, go ahead and put a done in chat. And if you aren't able to get this set up correctly, go ahead and put a like not working in chat.
I'm too scared to press the run button.
Right now, pressing run shouldn't do anything. All right. And also, you know what? I should be able to paste my replit in chat, and if you want to, you can check it out, and then like, if you're ever able to like not get caught up, you can just go to the replit and then see what I've done. Shouldn't be a problem this time, but just putting in there to be safe, and we'll go ahead and move on here. Let's go to the script.js. Different file here. See 3 files. We're on the script.js. And we will type, first we'll type setup, setup. And this is where we are very much being different from last class. If you were using like your REPL from last class, go ahead and just delete everything you have in the script.js. But here's where we're doing something very different. We're not going to write a bunch of code. We're just going to write like a couple lines. So it's setup, left parenthesis, like that. And outside of the parentheses, we'll then write left curly brace. So, you got a pair of parentheses and a pair of curly braces here. Then inside of the curly braces, click enter. So we have setup, setup, curly braces, parentheses, and then curly braces. And now the setup, this function here is the identical thing to all that code we pasted in last class. It is the exact same thing. And one thing we're going to do inside of this setup, between the curly braces, we'll write size, S-I-Z-E, parentheses, and then we'll do 400, 400. And all this is saying is, okay, we're now setting the size of our canvas. We're saying it's going to be 400 pixels wide, 400 pixels tall. This right here is a lot like a function. If you remember from, I believe I taught a class on this, you do a function like let x equals a function, all that stuff. This is like a function that JavaScript will run and deal with on its own. It's like a special keyword, and you can write code in here, particularly code to do with setting up the canvas, and processing.js will deal with setting up the canvas. And now we should be able to just write actually, first of all, we can click run now, and we don't have anything right now, but let me double check my code. Oh no, my bad. One more thing we need to do. Right before the word setup, you need to like add a space here and then go void, void. Should be void space setup. Just like that. And if we click enter, we now see a big gray box. And go ahead when you're done with that. You can put write done in chat. All right, now we should be able to now, outside of the function, outside of the curly braces here on a different line, I'm going to write ellipse, 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 parentheses, and then we'll do, just like last class, we'll do 200, comma, 200, comma, 200, comma, 200. Just like that. And one important thing now, at the end of this line, I'm going to write a semicolon. The dreaded semicolon, always hinted at but never shown. And I'm going to talk about all this stuff here. But first, let me run it and... Oops. I don't seem to be getting anything. I am not. What have I done wrong? Hmm. Maybe... All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going to... All right, well... All right, I'm going to delete that ellipse and then do it later. I'll try it in a second. Because for now, I'm just going to go ahead and instead of the ellipse, I'm backtracking 1 step here. My bad. I'm going to go void draw. Void draw. Parentheses, curly braces, just like last time. And then here, I will put my ellipse. Like so. And there we go, now I have it. All right. When you are done with this and can see the circle, I know I did this a little wrong here at first, but once you have written this code here, go ahead and put a done in chat.
Are you making an egg?
Right now, I'm making a normal circle that I'm going to make move. That is the goal.
So you're gonna make a duck from the limited stand thingy?
By the end of the class, I could. And if you can't see the circle, go ahead and put a not working in chat. And if you can, put a done in chat. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things here that are going to be different. One is that these functions are definitely weird looking, right? You don't have to worry about them too much because they're very particular functions just for processing.js. Draw is for drawing stuff, and setup is for setting up the actual canvas. Um, this void part is part of a like old thing in JavaScript where you would have to like tell the function what you were returning, and we're not returning anything, so we put void. But don't worry about it. That's all like it library stuff. Processing.js will handle all that stuff. The main difference here is that we're going to need to start using semicolons more. Particularly in that JavaScript now lets you not use semicolons, but processing.js used to make you do semicolons, and processing.js hasn't really updated, so you're going to need to start using some semicolons. They're in particular places, but to have practice, I'm going to say at the end of both these lines here, for size and draw, just add a semicolon. It's next to your L key. Just press that next to the L. And also add semicolons at the end of this, like right curly brace on lines 3 and 9. Just for practice, because the idea with semicolon is that you used to need to use it to end a line or end an action of code, right? So this is the ellipse. It draws something at the end of the semicolon. You end it. You let JavaScript know you're ending it. For this, you're saying you're creating a function. So at the very end of creating the function with the ending curly brace, you add a semicolon to let JavaScript know, okay, I'm done. All right. Now, that was a lot. Any questions about the semicolons? Now, it doesn't really matter if you actually like put these semicolons on, because JavaScript would still do some amount of adding semicolons for you. Just sometimes here it won't, so go ahead and put it on every time so that you don't get confused. In fact, I will now show you when you have to do it, because between the setup and the draw function, I'm going to add a couple new lines here. And follow along with me here. I'm going to type let x equal sign 200 semicolon. Finya saying teacher, it's not working. Let me see. Working over here. Finya, would you mind sending in chat your HTML like code and your JavaScript code so I can check it out? Or even just like sending the link to your replit right here. Your JavaScript looks good. Now just send me your CSS. No, not your CSS, your index.html code. That's probably where you've gone wrong. All right, but one thing we're going to do here, we've made this variable, this x equals 200, and now we can just right here in actually, well, we're doing the first number of the ellipse. We'll remove the first number and add x instead. And if we run it, everything should look exactly the same. Because all it's doing is saying, okay, x equals 200, so use x here instead of 200. All right, and Finya, it looks correct. Give me one moment here. I'm going to see if I can fix Finya's. I'm having a bit of a hard time because my computer is not keeping up with me here. It's very lagging. All right, Finya, I know your problem. You have the canvas tag above your script.js tag. Let me. Yeah, see, my canvas tag is below my script.js. Yours is above, so just go ahead and copy it and paste it down below here. That is the only difference. And yeah, I tried it and it doesn't work for when I put the canvas up as well. They keep the canvas below. That's more of a the new way of doing it, because it will find the canvas based on what's below it. It will just assume the canvas is the next element below the script. And instead of having to like use an ID to find it, it just does it automatically. But you need to have it in the right spot. All right, back to script.js. If my computer will load. It's having a lot of trouble today. Oh, there we go. Now, we are going to do something very cool. We are going to move this little ball we have. And we're going to do that by a very simple thing. After the ellipse line right here, we're going to write x, and then plus sign, and then plus sign, and then semicolon. X plus plus semicolon. And now, if we click run, the ball starts moving. It's moving in a horrifying way. In fact, if I grab it in a new tab here, we can see it is moving, and it is like leaving this weird trail behind it. So go ahead, do this code here. One important thing is that on line 5, there's a let x equals 200 semicolon. You need the semicolon. Very important right here. Need the semicolon. Everywhere else, it's not a big deal, but here you must have a semicolon. So when you are done and you have this weird circle moving, go ahead and put done in chat. Finya, I see you've moved the canvas down, but now you've lost your oh, I see. Okay. I see you've just swapped your script.js tag with your canvas. What you should be doing is putting your script.js still in the index, in like the body tag, and just have the canvas tag be directly below it. It needs to be the next tag after the script tag. So it should all be in the body and should just be, okay, script tag, and then right below it, canvas tag.
But teacher, we already tried it. That way we put it down because we already tried it and it still didn't work.
Well, no, before you had, or at least the code you sent me, you had the canvas tag still above your script.js tag. Here, it should look like this, where you have, first of all, your processing.js library tag, then immediately after it, your script.js tag, and then your canvas tag. And all that should be in the body tag. Oh, I see Andrew has a question. You can unmute.
How can we change the direction our ball goes?
Good question. When my, oh, there you go. All right, let me actually go ahead.
The what?
I believe he asked, how can you change the direction the ball is moving? And to show that, I'm going to go ahead and remember this x plus plus just means it's the same thing as x plus equals 1, right? In fact, you should probably all be writing that instead. We learned this in for loops, I believe. X plus equals 1. All you're doing here is you're adding x to 1. Now, actually, let's talk about this a bit, because the draw function, how it works is every frame it is drawing your circle. Think of it like a while loop that will run forever. Much like how a game, you have like frame rates in games. You have a frame rate in your processing.js. You're redrawing the entire canvas like 30 times every millisecond or whatever. And so what you're doing here is every time the draw function is being run, you're adding 1 to the x variable, and then it's changing to 201. So now it's going to draw an ellipse at, x coordinate 201, and then 202. And now, like when x becomes 300, 100 frames later, you're going to draw an ellipse at x 300, 200, 200, 200. And yeah, go ahead and change it to x plus equals 1. And let me show you real quick. If you do plus 10, x plus equals 10. And I run that. The circle goes away much quicker. Let me refresh here. There we go. Maybe you noticed it. It goes away much quicker. And to answer the question, to make it go left, we do plus equals negative 10. Or we can go minus equals 10. And now if we run it, it goes the other direction. I'll refresh here. Other direction. And I'll go back here to x plus equals 1 so we can see it better. And one other important thing is that we notice right now that every time the circle is being drawn, the last circle drawn is staying on the canvas, right? Like this right here, the reason it's leaving a trail is that is an entire circle being drawn. Next frame, or next like millisecond, it is drawing a whole nother circle slightly to the left. And it's keeping every circle. That's why it's having this like weird trail. So to fix that, we can go ahead and at the very top of our draw function, we can write background, 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 curly parentheses, and then we can do coloring just like we did with fill last class. We can do maybe 50 and then 100 and then 200. And now, if I go and refresh, we have a blue screen with a circle slowly moving to the right. Look at that. The way this works is that now, every time it draws a circle, it is also drawing the background behind the circle. So it's covering up all previously drawn circles, right? It draws a background, draws a circle, and then draws another background above that circle to cover it up, and then draws a new circle. And then just keep increasing the x, keep drawing a circle at a more and more to the right, until x is like 600 and it's completely off the canvas. And I will say, x is still, going up right now. X is probably at like, 2,000 right now, but that's off the actual canvas. You can't see it anymore. So go ahead, write that down, try to run it, and if the circle is moving to the right, like it should, go ahead and put a done in chat when you're done writing the code. And if you can't get it working, go ahead and put a not working in chat. But if you have written the code, put a done in chat. And you don't have to run it if you don't want to. I know in Zoom it can be really slow. Just try to follow along the best you can, then after Zoom, run it. See what happens. And pop quiz while we're waiting, if you're done, can anyone tell me why adding the background in the draw function takes away that like trail that the circle leaves? First one to tell me why we need the background gets a point.
Because it covers every trail the Bob makes.
Yes, good job. Andrew gets a point. I believe it's Andrew. Yeah, probably. Someone got a point. All right, let's go ahead here. And if I ever leave you behind while you're still writing code, just let me know and I'll let you catch up. But for now, we have one important thing to do, which is that the ball leaves the canvas. It will go to the end there, and there we go, it's off canvas. And it disappears, which isn't great. And what we can do to fix that is a clever little bit of JavaScript. You see, we know the way we're moving something to the right is by going x plus equals 1, right? And what we want to happen is, let me refresh one more time. What we want to happen is when the ball reaches the right side of the canvas, it will stop and go back to the left, right? We want a little bouncy ball effect. That way we can keep seeing the ball move. So what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and just erase this x plus equals 1 for now. Just delete that particular line. And instead, I'm going to write if, remember our if statements, parentheses, x as my condition, x is greater than, x greater sign, and we'll do 400. X is greater than 400, because that is the whole left side of the screen should be 400, or right side of the canvas. So if x is greater than 400, curly braces, we will say, how should we be saying this? I realize I've made a slight mistake here. 1 second. We will say speed, which is a variable I will make a promise. Speed equals -2, we'll say. All right, if x is greater than 400, speed equals -2. That is the condition, right? And now, let me show the rest of code here so this all makes sense. Outside of the draw function, we're going to make one more variable. Right below our let x equals 200, we'll say let speed, speed, I am not writing this right, speed, speed, equals 2, semicolon. Make sure to do the semicolon. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and add semicolons back here as well. You do not need semicolons for the if statement, I believe. You should be fine there. And now, in between the if statement and the ellipse, I'm going to write x plus equals speed. I have just made a new variable to determine the actual speed, right? Determine like how much you're adding to x every time. We're just changing x by the number that speed is. Right now it's 2, so it would be x plus equals 2 every frame. We're moving the circle 2 pixels to the right every frame. And if x ever gets greater than 400, speed is -2. Which means, like we saw before, we're now going to start moving the circle to the left. We're going to move it to the left by 2 every frame. And let's see if it works. It goes to the left and bounces. There we go. Look at that go. It bounced. It goes off screen again, but we'll fix that in a bit. And that was a lot of code, so I will give everyone a chance to catch up if they need to. And when you have written this code, put a done in chat. Oh yeah, I know where Magic went. Maybe they died. Their internet died, I mean. Yeah, all we added here was the speed variable, the x plus equals speed, and then this little if statement right here. There is someone right outside the house playing very loud music. All right, and as usual, if it is not working, or if your code isn't working, put a not working in chat. And if you have it working, put a done in chat. To iWii games, that error is perfectly fine. Sometimes when you're doing like older stuff, replit we just scream like I don't understand what's going on, but it's fine. Especially anytime you see error : null, null. Null means like undefined. Oh, but you can't see any blue square. Okay, that is a problem. So for iWii games, and in fact to anyone who doesn't have it working, or even if you have it working, go ahead and just send me your entire script.js here. Select it, copy, if you can, and paste it in chat. Huh, that seems to be working. iWii games, was it ever working?
Yeah,
In-
it was working.
Huh. Yeah, that looks almost exactly like mine. Huh. Let me scan through it here. And yes, Andrew, you can unmute.
How do we let the ball bounce back from the left wall?
Good question. I will show you in one moment. I'm just interested in what's wrong with iWii games code. Well, we'll go ahead and move past that code for now. I'll figure out by the end of class, I promise. I win, okay. I win, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I win. And yeah, you can unmute.
Magic just told me that her Wi-Fi sucks and is be right back.
All right. Actually, to everyone, you can just unmute. The class is small enough. It's not like the other class that has like a billion people. And you need to raise your hand. You can just unmute. Not a big deal. All right. Let me show you now how to get the ball to be bouncing the other direction. And all you need to do is a basic if statement here. Just if x, if, parentheses, x is less than, now make sure you do a less than sign. Here you do a greater than sign, here you do a less than sign. If x is less than 0, 0 being the whole left side of the canvas. So if x is less than 0, then curly braces, and inside the curly braces we'll do speed. It is not letting me type now. Give me a moment. Right before I finish, my computer is lagging. There we go.
No, mine is way worse. I disconnected.
Oh, hello. Yes, I heard.
Disconnected for like 2 times.
I will be posting my replit on Facebook and Discord later, so you can like go and check it out. Make sure you're doing it correctly. But all right, we do speed equals 2 semicolon. All we're doing here, actually, in fact, I need a semicolon line 13 as well. I'm not used to writing semicolons anymore. I got unused to writing semicolons because you didn't need them, but after this class, we need them. So, my bad. All right, if x is less than 0, speed equals 2. All we're doing here is setting speed back to 2 when x is 0, when the circle has moved all the way to the left. And if I try it out here, let's go. There we go. circle is moving, and it bounces back. Let's see if it goes right. There we go. And now it is bouncing. Let's go. And we have a
Bounce the
full
ball.
animation. And there we go. And so go ahead and add the extra if statement, and when you're done, go ahead and put done in chat. If you like, go ahead and try to see if it's working too. See a little animation. Oh, and one thing I would show you before we have a little bit of time in class. Show a couple of things here. You don't have to put the X on the first one. You can here I put it on the, or you know what? I'll do both the first and second. There we go. And now I'm going to be moving it both to the right and down. And then when I hit the 400, 400, I'm going to be moving to the left and up, going to 0, 0. Let me see if it works. There we go. Now it's bouncing on the diagonals. And there is a lot of different stuff you can do here. You could also, oh, you know what? Let me try it real quick. I'm going to put them all to be X. Or in fact, yeah, okay. Let's just see what happens if all my ellipses are X. I now grow big as I go over there, and then grow small as I go to the last one. There we go, that's pretty neat. I win. Let me see here. You're still not seeing the blue square, right?
No.
Shoot. All right, go ahead and send me your HTML as well. That
Oh yeah, it
be
might be wrong, but like before we put the let speed and something like that, the blue box that was here.
Huh.
I mean, it was a white box for me because it didn't change the color.
Right. But yeah, let me just double check it. It could be it. Because I can't see any other problem. It looks perfect. Now, for the, we have about 30 minutes left. All right, how about I show you maybe another cool thing? Let me see here. All right, someone in chat, give me a object we should animate, like a full thing. What do you want to animate to be bouncing around? All right, duck. All right, let's try to see if we can make a duck here. All right, I'm going to be using a more advanced thing here, and hopefully you guys can follow along. It's not a big deal if you can't follow along for this one. I'm going to remove this ellipse right here, and outside of the draw function, I'm going to say let duck, duck equals function. Remember, a function is just a variable that contains code that you can run. So function, parentheses, and in the parentheses, I'm going to write x. That is going to be the variable that I will take in, or I'll be fed. I'm going to grab, or yeah, it's the input. Curly braces. And for my duck, I'll do maybe, well, for now, the duck will just be a yellow circle. We'll do fill, 255, 255, 0. We'll do a circle at, and here's the important part, we'll do a circle at x, and then 200, 200, 200. Notice we have x here, the same input. And how do we want to make a circle here? The duck from the lemonade stand has like orange? No, has black eyes, right? Yeah. All right. Do a fill there. 0, 0, 0. And the first circle, that one should be at, needs to be, oh, and here's the fun part, because here we want to create an eye, okay? But we want this eye to move in the same way that the circle does, right? We want the eye of the duck to move as the rest of the circle moves. So what we can do is say x and then plus 50. Because we can't just say x, because then the eye is going to be right in the middle of the circle, right? It's going to be in the same place the circle is. We want the eye to be, a little up and to the right. So we're going to say x plus 50 to draw a circle at x, right, at 200 plus 50, so 250. And then when the x is 300, we'll draw the I at 350. So x plus 50, and then we do comma, and then 150 to draw the I, and then we'll do maybe 50, and then there's 50. There we go, that's our I. And to see if it works, in my draw function, I can just run duck, parentheses, and feed it x. Remember, the x in here is technically different than the x in the variable. When we invoke it, we're feeding it x the variable. And then every time we change x and draw the function again, we're calling the function duck again with a new variable x to feed into it. And this x, we're just getting to like grabbing what we're feeding in and then using it inside our function. All right, I'm going to see if it works real quick. Refresh. Oh, it did not work at all. Oh, I know why. Go ahead here on every line.
I can see something.
Oh, nice.
I can see a gray box.
Yes. that is not the intention right now. We should be adding semicolons on every line.
I love your art. I can see a beautiful gray box. It's a masterpiece.
Yes. So every line in this duck function, except the actual line 8, this one does not need a semicolon, but every other line here needs a semicolon at the end. And I'll show you the actual function more in a bit, but I just want to see if it does work. Still not working. Well, not an error anymore. All right, don't write it down, but I'm gonna try something. Okay, don't write this down. Huh. I'm not sure what's going here. All right. Yeah, I can't see what's wrong there. I'll figure out later, I guess. Like all class, I have to end it on some kind of, oh, I made a mistake.
Oh no.
What we can do for now is, okay, delete this duck invoking line on line 19. Delete that. And then just copy this code. Copy it, delete it, and then paste it back here. There we go. This should be actually the same thing. It's probably the easier way to do it instead of putting it in a function. You don't need to put it in a function. I'm gonna go ahead now and delete that function code. I never make any mistakes. Gonna run it. All right, if this still doesn't work, I'm gonna be. Why? Why?
Such a beautiful blue box.
Oh, darn it. My bad. It's not circle, it's ellipse. It's ELLIPSE. I don't know why I started writing circle there. That's why I wasn't seeing anything.
Such a beautiful blue box.
All right, now if I run it, I see a horrifying amalgamation right here, but it is bouncing around correctly.
It looks like a yellow eyeball.
Yes. So here's that code. It's really the exact same thing as you would normally do to create that, right? It's just, two circles. The only difference is that we have a couple X's here to move both the circles. And then because one circle is in a different place relative to the other circle, we need to add this little plus 50 to, move it a little bit to the right. And for the final thing in class to finish it up, the duck look, I will. How do I make orange? It's
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No. Okay, I'm gonna assume it's like some red, and green, but with a lot more red and no blue. 250, 200, 0, and then I'll just do rect. X plus 50. Same with the eyeball. 200. And then maybe 150. There we go. And that should be the beak for the duck. And now if I refresh, let's see it. There we go. I kind of have a duck. Look at that. It's not a great
Ooh.
duck.
It's a great duck.
I'm sure you guys can make a better one.
Bum bum bum. Ba-da-da-dum. The duck went down
Walked
to
up to the lemonade stand.
And he said to the man running the stand, "Hey,
Have any grapes?
no."
Just no. All right, so that's all that code there. If you're doing in a function that should have worked too, I wrote circle instead of ellipse. All right. And if anyone has been following along with that, and you were able to get a duck, give me a "it works" in chat, or just like a duck in chat.
I could even get a circle. I'm
All right.
sad.
Oh no, magic. The opposite. And if everyone would like, if you don't have code that works as you want it to, just send your entire script.js into chat, and I'll see what I can do.
My Wi-Fi sucks. Like, sucks.
And as for iWin, you're still having problems, right?
Me in real life is singing Sweet Home Alabama.
All right. So, oh, and yes, Andrew, you may speak.
How can we make a triangle?
Good question. All right. Oh, and by the way, if it didn't work, go ahead and just paste all your code into chat if you can. Or in a moment, yeah, like that.
My Wi-Fi is so bad that I couldn't keep up.
It's okay because I will on Facebook post the link to this replit and Discord. That way you can go and check it out and like see how I did it, and if you need to, you can just like copy the code and see if it works. I haven't checked my entire script.js as well, so if you need to, you just copy that. But all right, in terms of making a triangle, that is a little difficult, but let me try it here. So let's go instead of a rect, and you don't need to follow along if you don't want to make a triangle, because I'm going to be having a little trouble here. you have to do triangle, triangle, triangle. And now you need to give it the first position. I'll say the first one will be X, and we're gonna want what, like 150. The second one will be X plus 100 and 200. And the third one will be, yeah, X again, and then 300. Or maybe we'll go 250. All right, that is a whole triangle. I'm going to send it in chat because I know it's strange looking. It's triangle, and then for me, I'm doing some X stuff, but you can also just put like 200 here instead of X. That should work. Let me refresh and see it. And yeah, it's a triangle. It is not positioned properly at all, but I mean, it's a triangle. And yeah, you can just go ahead and like position it better than I've been, but I'm just showing you guys. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and end class. I know someone like just joined. I'm sorry, you might be trying to go to another class. I'm not sure. Or maybe I posted a time zone wrong. My bad. I'm going to stop share for a second, and anyone who has not working code or just wants to show off their little project, you can go ahead and share your screen.
I'm just gonna copy the whole thing you sent in chat because it didn't work for me.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I'm really not sure what you did wrong there. It looks perfect, but
Yay, there's a duck now.
all right, here, let me. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't show my whole code here. But I can. I did paste it in chat, and here, let me. My computer's a little slow.
It's not
Paste
just
it in
only your computer.
All right, with that, we'll go ahead and end class. I'm sorry to the person who just arrived, and I'm going to post this the link to the replit itself on Discord and Facebook if you guys need it. I'm sorry if not everyone was able to get it working, but I can help you on Facebook or Discord after class. Hope everyone had a good time, and before we leave, does anyone have a joke or a pun?
No.
I have one if I can load up a website. Okay. Why couldn't the pony sing a lullaby?
Why?
Because she was a little horse.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you. I did not steal that from a Google image.
Totally.
All right. Go ahead and end class. Hope everyone had a good time. Hope you were able to learn something. And if you weren't able to get it
Sweet
working,
home
again,
Alabama.
I have the link to the replit. I will post it on Facebook and Discord. And see you all same time next week.
Sweet
You too.
home
Have a nice day.
Alabama.
Bye. Magic, I didn't do anything wrong. What did I do? What did I do, Magic? Okay.
Okay.
You just leave
Uh-huh.
it because it's over time.